This video is being recorded in November 2022. I'm going to cover documentation and metadata for the GISS position. Lesson objectives are to understand the importance and procedures of documentation and metadata for the GIS specialist, understand how the standard incident directory structure contributes to good documentation practices, and understand the GISS role in providing documentation to the Documentation Unit Leader, or DOCL. So what do we document and how do we document it? GISS documentation starts when you implement the GeoOps standard incident directory structure for an incident because it's designed to serve as both documentation and metadata. By using the structure, you'll enable easy recognition of the files within it, and you'll facilitate archival retrieval and use should someone need to come pull something from the directory years into the future for reference. File and folder names include incident-specific information, such as which fire we're looking at. And file names for specific data sets include descriptive information, like what type of data it is, such as GPS data, fireline data, etc. Unit logs, or the ICS 214 form, can help you keep track of when products are created, due, and delivered, transitions of personnel, GISS product assignments, data backup routines, etc. The unit log should be submitted to the DOCL on a daily basis. The way we name files within the incident directory structure serves as metadata. For example, the file name of the master incident geodatabase includes the year of the incident name, the unique fire ID, which is comprised of the unit ID and local incident ID, and the tool and version used to produce the data. In this case, we're talking about using the event data standard implemented as the National Incident Feature Service. So we'll include the word event and then the software version used. Beyond the incident directory structure and naming of individual files within it, we also have feature-level metadata that gets stored in the attributes of each feature layer in the National Incident Feature Service. Feature-level metadata allows each feature, whether it's a point, line, or polygon, to stand on its own if it were to be isolated from the rest of the dataset. We can identify which incident the feature belonged to, what type of feature it is, how and when it was created, among other information. And now I'll do a quick demo on how attributes in the feature layers of the National Incident Feature Service are used as metadata for the incident. I have the Hermit's Peak fire as an example. Under incident data, we have the master incident geodatabase, also known as the event geodatabase, that is named 2022 Hermit's Peak. The unique fire ID means that it's the 27th incident on the Santa Fe National Forest in New Mexico. And the event data standard was used in ArcGIS Pro version 2.9. Looking at the event line feature class, I'll show how the attributes are used as metadata. First, I've got the incident name. This was a large fire that covered an area with multiple active fires at the time, so the incident name was imperative for all the GISS working in the area to keep track of which features belong to which fire. The feature category describes the type of point, line, or polygon that the feature represents. The map method field describes how the feature was created. We don't always have this information, in which case that field defaults to mixed methods. The comments field allows for descriptions about the piece of data from the person who collected it. The create name and create date fields tell us who collected the piece of data and when they collected it. All of this information allows each record in the dataset to stand on its own. The GISS role in the documentation of incident information at large is to provide hard copy and digital products to the Documentation Unit Leader with approval through the Situation Unit Leader. This includes the GeoOps Digital Incident Directory structure. If there will be a transition of incident management teams, it's important to provide the incoming team with a copy of the incident directory structure as well, or access to its existing location if the incoming team will continue to use the structure in FireNet O365. The GISS also provides hard copy maps and other products with markup that contributed to decision-making throughout the incident. For example, many situation units will have a situation map or an operations map available each day to mark any edits or changes. Additionally, the GISS provides general messages and unit logs. It's recommended to build in time to your daily routine for documentation activities so you don't feel overwhelmed by it at the end of the incident. If you're unsure if something should be filed as incident documentation, consult with your situation unit leader. To review, in this lesson, we discussed the importance and procedures of documentation and metadata for the GISS. We discussed how the standard incident directory structure contributes to good documentation practices. And we discussed what the GISS role is in providing documentation to the documentation unit leader. Thanks for watching.